guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rumbi. I'm a newly qualified doctor in the UK and I share my journey on YouTube. So today I thought I would just do a video about how I'm finding my interim foundation placement so far. So in the UK, with the whole COVID thing and the response to COVID, they created this like junior doctor post before you start your foundation year, and they called it FiY1, so interim foundation year 1, and it was voluntary. Like, you could decide to take it, you could do it where you graduated, so the hospital you're already familiar with, or you could do it where you were going to go for your foundation year. So I did it where I was going to go, so I moved, and like, it's voluntary, you could have said no, and you can kind of, it's pretty like relaxed in the sense that you can pretty much leave anytime. If you don't like it, you can be like, adios, deuces, not feeling this. So I took it up, packed my bags, moved, and like, I literally got an email on Thursday to be like, hey, we've got a place for you in this interim post, but you can only start on Monday, and if you can't start on Monday, unfortunately we can't have you. So it was literally like such a rush thing. I kind of knew it was coming anyway, so it wasn't the end of the world, but yeah, very interesting, a story for another day. So what have I learned so far? So much stuff. It's like a barrage of new information constantly, like one after the other. And because like I'm at a different place to where I went to uni, I'm not familiar with the community system. I'm not familiar with how the services are organized, so that makes a difference. And just like little things that you just know because you're from somewhere, I'm having to learn those and pick those up, so that takes time. The computer system, like a whole new computer system that I'm not familiar with, so getting to know the computer system. All my logins work now, which is amazing, but like emailing, knowing who to email to get this login activated, and then when that login's activated, you realize you actually need a different login to access x-rays, and a different login to access echoes, and a different x-ray to like a different password, sorry, to access all these other things. So it is like really time consuming to get all of those things organized. So it took me, like, I'm in almost a month now, I think. Yeah, I'm almost a month through. It took me a good like week and a half to get all the basic computer systems, and then last week I finally got access to be able to view x-rays. So baby steps, absolute baby steps, but we're getting there. Other things are like communication. So I've come to a point now where I kind of know what needs to be done. So in my first couple of weeks, someone needed to tell me to do something. Otherwise, it's hard to know what needs to be done when you don't really know how somewhere runs. Now I'm at a point where I kind of have a better understanding of what needs to be done. So I don't necessarily need someone to be like, oh, Rumbi, can you go do this, or please do this. I can just do it because I know it needs to be done, if that makes sense. So kind of building on that is really good. I've enjoyed that part, and whereas like in the first like week or so, it was like, okay, so what do you want me to do now? So what do you want me to do now? So what do you want me to do now? Or like following someone. Whereas now I have that like you can use your own initiative now because you know what needs to be done. So I'm really liking that. I feel much more like a helpful member of the team now, as opposed to like learning. But I think we all go through that. I am still learning, but I feel like I'm helpful now, more helpful than I was like on my first week, obviously. Other things like that I would say that have been like not necessarily challenging but different is like entering a new team where people already know each other. So I'm really quite lucky that my team and my ward are the same place. So medicine, different hospitals are set up differently. So some hospitals work in a firm base, so you have your consultant and your team, like the reg, SHOs, and then like FiY1s or whatever, and that consultant might have patients spread across a few wards. And then you can have ward-based doctors, so you're on the ward but different consultants come and see patients on your ward. Whereas like I said, I'm very lucky in that my ward and my team are the same, so we are a team looking after these patients on our ward. you know, so it just makes life so much easier than like running, like, you know, okay, this consultant wants this thing done this way, and then this consultant likes this written this way. I've kind of been lucky that I kind of had to learn just like one way, and that makes life easier, because then I can now, when there's other doctors that come in and offer their style, you know, I can be like, oh, I can pick and choose, like, in my own pace, in my own time. It's not like you're having to type like crazy fast ward round entries because you need to go catch the other consultant before they leave and, you know, do their ward round and stuff. So it's not hectic like that at all. So I'm really, really lucky. Whereas people that are maybe like ward based with different consultants coming into their ward to round, that might be a bit trickier to get their hang off initially. But like, we all go through it. At some point I'm going to be on a ward which is exactly that, where different consultants come and like round, and then you have to like figure out what each consultant wants. I have to say though, like, one of the best words of advice that I've had so far was that like my job, so it's what you learn at uni is like the knowledge, and then you have to apply the knowledge, and a lot of what I found is less like, I don't need to know the exact science or whatever in my position, because I'm not necessarily making the treatment decisions, but I do need to know the practical things. Like, okay, if a consultant or a reg asks for a scan to be done, what are the practicalities of making sure that that patient has the scan that the reg wants them to have in a timely manner, you know, and that it's reported back. So it's kind of getting a hang of all the practical stuff. But the best, I think, advice I've got so far, which has helped me understand what my role is that, so yes, I'm an FiY1. Back in the olden days, they called it like a house officer or a junior house officer. And your job as a junior house officer is to know the house. So my ward is the house, and my job is to know it, like just know the patients, know what was done yesterday for them or whatever, know what we're planning to do, know this, know that. Because if you imagine like the senior doctors, the reg and the consultant, they're coming from clinic, they have other, like they're taking referrals, there's other things that they're doing, whereas my job is to be on the ward and know the house. So when they're coming and they want to be updated on a patient, or they're making a plan for the patient, I need to have all the information, or be able to access all the information to help them make the right decisions for the patient's management. So I feel like that was really, really good advice. But yeah, just be nice to everyone. And also what I've found is like trying to get to know your team outside of like just talking about work stuff. So now we're in a time where you can't really socialize, or you can't socialize at all, to be honest, and going to work and coming back is one of the only form of like social contacts, isn't like you're seeing other people. So, you know, asking people, how are you, how are your kids, or how's your partner, or how's your sister, or how's whatever, just those little conversations I think really, really help, just to check in on people, and then they check in on you. Because like, we're not able to go meet our friends for lunch, for drinks, and just de-stress like that. Like, Zoom is great, but obviously it's just not the same as seeing someone in person. So I would say definitely that's something to think about. But yeah, I would say that's all. These weren't necessarily tips. This was like a debrief on my first, we'll call it my first month as an FiY1, my first working month as a doctor. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. If you're not following me on Instagram at @RimbyTheMedic, and make sure you're subscribed. Bye.